The last part of this unit is looking at how the Byzantine Empire influences Russia, specifically with the Orthodox Church. So we're going to tie these two together. Just a small history of Russia. Russia had been settled, if you think of north of the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. There were some farmers there called Slavic farmers who are going to mix together with a group that comes to explore there called the Vikings. They are going to settle and create early Russia as we know it. The Slavic people who were not unified or controlled actually invited a Viking king to come bring them unity. And in 862 CE, that king is going to find a city named Novgorod in the north. It literally just means new city. And around 880 CE, a new king is going to move south and build a city named Kiev. It's going to be built on a river called the Dnieper River. The D is silent. A Dnieper River that connects right to the Black Sea, which is going to bring them into contact with Constantinople. So if you look here are just a bunch of different regions in Russia at the time, right above the Black Sea. And you can see right here, it's kind of hard to see, but here's the Dnieper River. And the Dnieper River connects right to the Black Sea, right down to Constantinople. This is the city Kiev that was built. So you can see Kiev is really close to the Black Sea and Constantinople. From Kiev, the Vikings and the Russians are going to be able to sail down the river and into Constantinople. They're going to use the Dnieper River to get access to the Black Sea. And they're going to bring things on their ships like timber, wood, fur, animal furs, wax, honey, and some of their Slavic subjects to sell as slaves. And they're going to hope to trade with Constantinople to get new products for Russia. These trade routes established all the way from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea, which leads them to Constantinople. So now we see further, really far north civilizations connecting all the way to the Black Sea, which eventually goes to the Mediterranean Sea, which is really, really cool to see. When they start trading, because Russia is primarily new and the Byzantines are so established, Russians are going to really start to absorb Greek Byzantine ideas. And Russian culture starts to grow out of this combination of the Slavic farmers and the Viking invaders, and now Greek and Byzantine traditions. And it creates a really cool Russian culture. So you see here trade routes. This purple is the entire area of Russia at the time. We see trade routes going all the way from the Baltic Sea up here, way far north, all the way down the Dnieper River to Kiev, through the Black Sea, into Constantinople, and then eventually into the Mediterranean. So it's really cool to see this northern area now being connected to the rest of the world. So you see this line going all the way from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea, right there. In terms of influence, one of the biggest influence that the Byzantine Empire had on Russia was their conversion to Orthodox Christianity. The success and growth of Kiev as a city really attracted Byzantine rulers. And so they're going to actually start sending people up to Russia, and Russians are going to start sending people down to Constantinople to interact with each other. Byzantine emperors saw a chance to convert Russians to Christianity. They're going to send missionaries to Kiev or to Russia to help convert the people. There was one specific missionary named Cyril, who's now Saint Cyril, who created an alphabet known as the Cyrillic alphabet, which was written based on Greek letters, but also Slavic influences. And this language is going to help Slavic people be able to read religious documents like the Bible. And this helps to spread Eastern Orthodox Christianity using the Russian vernacular. So it's really going to be a way, the Cyrillic alphabet is a way to help convert Russians to Christianity. And they convert very rapidly. So here's the Cyrillic alphabet. There was a Russian king named Vladimir who converted to Orthodox Christianity very quickly himself in 980 CE. And he wanted all of his people to convert. When he went down to Constantinople, he was so impressed by their buildings and their churches, and he wanted Russia to look just like that. So he converted to Christianity, And then he had all of his Russian subjects do what's called a mass baptism, where he had all of his subjects go to the Dnieper River to be baptized together so that Constantinople and Kiev could now be a unified Orthodox Christian alliance. And then they started to look towards Constantinople for religious guidance. And this is what he says about Constantinople, which we'll look at a little bit later. So here's the mass baptism that Vladimir has. In terms of further influence on Russia, the Byzantine Eastern Orthodox Church had a huge influence on the art and architecture scene in Russia. A lot of churches were built in Russia based on the Byzantine model. Kiev built 400 churches by the 12th century, within just like 200 years of converting to Eastern Orthodox. A lot of their churches were topped with domes that looked similar to Byzantine domes. They had arches, which goes all the way back to Rome. And then Kievan princes, Russian princes, even hired Byzantines to train them how to decorate their churches with icons and mosaics. So here's a famous church in Russia where you can see the use of domes and you can see arches. You can see a lot of similarities to the Byzantine Empire in Rome, but even a little bit more ornate, which gives us a cool uniqueness to it. And so this video that you're going to see pop up here, you're actually going to watch that on one of your Ed Puzzle videos. To end this unit, I just want to show you a map here where you're looking at the growth and then the eventual decline of the Byzantine Empire. So you can see how much it fluctuates in terms of land that they held, and then they would lose that land. So here's the beginning of it. This is Justinian. They lose a lot of land after Justinian. They continue to take pieces here and there with their military conquests. But then in 1453, it's just going to be Constantinople, and they're going to be taken over by the Ottoman Turks. And then Constantinople is going to become a city named Istanbul. And that is it for the Byzantine Empire. Keep watching your Ed Puzzle videos. Try to get all those finished so that you have a clear understanding of the Byzantine Empire. Okay? Thank you for watching.